Kelsey Whitmer, a 3-run.
The biggest stories at this tournament.
I see myself as the one doing that.
Sato, the greatest women's baseball pitcher in human over there by Libya.
I think that I could be one of them.
Yeah, nice job by Sung-Yun Park.
Gabriela Velez, number.
We are good, we have talent, we are strong. I wish we had a team going to World Cup.
Good afternoon and welcome back to this WBSC Women's Baseball World Cup.
We're finally here, and then you have other countries coming in and they're trying to take a championship from you.
Existing in a men's baseball space.
The discrimination. Why did I have to go through that to play baseball?
You will never be in the MLB, face it. She's ruining baseball. What a joke.
If we don't have the World Cup event, what's the national team's gunning for? There's nothing else in women's baseball.
It seems like a real logical evolution is that there should be a league.
If that was just normalized, that women play baseball, we could just grow immensely.
なんだろう、サークル、そういう輪に聞こえてきます。そのサークルという大きなこの、まだちっちゃいけども、それを大きくしていく。これが世界中にこう広がっていくことを期待しています。
My favorite quote when I was young was, "If you could see it, you could be it." When I see younger girls in the stands, they're coming here for me. I want to be what I didn't have.
See Her, Be Her follows the life of 7 women baseball stars from around the world as they forge a path for future generations of female athletes. Their incredible stories shatter stereotypes, explore themes of perseverance and resilience, and celebrate not only their athletic achievements during the intense battle for the World Cup championship, but also their resolve to fight for gender equality. See Her, Be Her will premiere right here on MLB Network between games 2 and 3 of the 2024 World Series. Yesterday, our Adnan Virk sat down with the film's director and producer, Fruth, along with Hall of Famer Ferguson Jenkins, who was part of the documentary and stopped by on his way up to Cooperstown.
Gene, obviously this is an important subject matter, seeing women in baseball thriving. How'd the idea come about?
Well, women in baseball is just, as we know, is growing, and there's headlines every day. So we spent a lot of time researching how we wanted to tell this story. So the story is about 7 women baseball stars, and they're at the pinnacle of their career, and they're from all around the world, from the USA, Cuba, Puerto Rico, Japan, South Korea, Uganda, and Canada. And these women, though culturally very different, they all have strong attributes in common, and that is they're courageous women, they're determined women, and they're really North Stars for girls and women who really just are inspired to break barriers, gender barriers.
It's great to see all those countries represented, but let's be honest, if me and Fergie are here, we really care about Canada, Kingston, and Chatham, Ontario being represented here on set. So, Fergie, how did you get involved in this film?
Well, I got introduced to basically one of the young ladies that is from Thunder Bay, Ontario.
Nice.
She's a firefighter.
Okay.
And a baseball player. Mm-hmm. And she loves the game. We sat at one of the local ballparks and talked about baseball in general. And she was telling me how she got into it as a young girl at 4 or 5 years old. And then all of a sudden now, she's really making some headlines.
Yeah, and you're not the only Hall of Famer here involved with this. I mean, there's also players like Ichiro and a big Cal Ripken Jr. Gene, how did you get those players to be involved as well?
We have Hall of Famers and retired players, like you're saying, you know, Ichiro, Jimmy Rollins, Cal Ripken Jr., of course, Fergie. And all of them not only have a connection to women baseball, but they really want to see the future of women's baseball thrive. Cal Ripken Jr. tells a story of his sister and how as they were both playing, she wanted to play baseball, but there was no opportunities for her to play baseball. So she had to play softball. And she was the athlete in the family in the early years. Of course, that changed a bit as time went on and the story unfolded. And Ichiro, nobody has supported the women's game in Japan more than Ichiro Suzuki. Wow. He does incredible things for the women and girls in baseball, and he plays a game, a men's team that he has against the girls national all-star team. And it's done at the Tokyo Dome, and they sell out the Tokyo Dome, and he gives these girls a platform and an opportunity to raise their awareness about women's baseball in Japan.
That's great that Ichiro's willing to pay that forward. Fergie, you obviously are Canadian, but you grew up and you're playing in places like Little Rock and Miami and Macon, faced horrible segregation, all those types of issues. Can you make any sort of parallels to challenges that you faced and what women players face today?
Well, I think the biggest thing is women are not expected to excel at baseball. They're softball players, supposedly. But now you get the exception by 4 or 5 or maybe even a couple of dozen women that can understand the game of baseball. And they were able to excel and play well. And when you think about it, Canada has a lot of individuals, 2,500 ladies.
Yeah.
So I think that's important. Out of the, as I was talking to earlier, the 10 provinces.
Yep.
That's all these women that want to play. So I think that there's a great challenge for them to get that opportunity to get exposed and play and show the world that they're capable.
Yeah, I'm with you. Women's baseball, I think, in Canada is on the rise, and certainly it's impressive what you've seen so far in those 10 provinces and 3 territories. Jean, for yourself, how about the crew that helped you make this film?
Well, co-producer Jeff Idelson, besides having a 40-year career in baseball, starting with the Red Sox, the Yankees, 26 years with the Baseball Hall of Fame, 12 years as president. Now we are running our Grassroots Baseball not-for-profit together. And for Jeff, it's just the extension of the love of the game. It just continues on. So I couldn't be just more proud to have him as my partner, in this project and what he's done for the game and what he continues to do. And our cinematographer, our videographer, Martine Berthiaume, also a Canadian, I'll have you know. Okay, Martine Berthiaume, Canadian, living in Vancouver now. But his talent, we connected, and from the very beginning, but I didn't realize he was going to be taking this journey with us all the way through. And it's pretty incredible because when we met, we both shoot the same, we both shoot Sony, which is not small because when you understand the importance of technology, you connect right away, so that was cool for us. But then we also shoot the same way. We have kind of the same, to make a documentary, you need to tell a story. And I'm a still photographer, and what I feel sets me apart, or what the stories I like to tell in sports, is just very different than the action. Yeah. And Martine completely understands that. And then we both are lovers of chasing light. So the documentary is not about talking heads. It's really shot in this beautiful cinematic way, and that's really thanks to Martine. Canadian Martine.
I love it. Proud of Vancouver. Let's get it done. And lastly, you have a book coming out as well, right, Jean? What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so See Her, Be Her. The film also has a companion book, and that is over 250 images. But what's great about it is that we also have voices. We have great essays written by Billie Jean King, Cal Ripken Jr. We have Lois Youngin, who is with the AAGPBL, the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League, along with Maybelle Blair. And then Veronica Alvarez, who is the manager of Team USA, and she's also an MLB ambassador, and she's just incredible for women's and sports and women's baseball, and just great essays all the way through by some players as well.
Jean, Fruth, special thanks to Fergie Jenkins as well. Look forward to the movie. Thanks to you both.
Pleasure.